Hello, here we go. It's the Kopite podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kopite podcast. It's our second live stream in a row. I'm Mick, and I'm joined once again by Matt Ramirez. How you doing, Matt?
I'm all right. Yourself?
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I just thought we'd do this for a little test there, and we can have a chat about the lineup, which has just came out. And it is Alisson in goal, Trent right back, Nat Phillips at centre half with Gomez. That's a surprise. Robbo, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Curtis Jones as well. That's a bit of a surprise when I can see your face there. And then obviously Mane, Salah and Firmino. On the bench, we've got Adrian, Milner, Minamino, Jota, Shaqiri, Reece Williams and Neco Williams. Thoughts on that, lad?
Phillips concerns me. But I'm all right with them not having Antonio. Wow. I'm kind of a bit shocked at that, to be honest. I didn't expect Curtis Jones either. I thought maybe Milner, but I don't know what to think of that.
Yeah, I think we all expected Reece Williams, didn't we, to be honest? But no Thiago on the bench either. I think we kind of I think we were all building it up like, let's hope he starts. And I don't think he was ever going to start really. I think it was always maybe a bench option to get his fitness up, but not even in the squad, which is a bit of a surprise. Curtis Jones gets a start, which is great for him, isn't it?
I like Jones anyway. Like that's not the concerning part of that lineup.
Yeah, I think because we're at home, maybe giving Nat Phillips a game makes more sense because it should be a more. But then, I don't know. It's difficult to say. Like either Reece Williams or Nat Phillips would have been like we would have to make do for now while we're struggling with injuries and stuff. But out of the two, I imagine they would have played Reece Williams because obviously he's been playing more recently than Nat Phillips. What do you reckon?
I'm just a bit shocked. Like I'm a bit speechless. Like after his comments yesterday, I think he mentioned something about maybe Robertson playing at centre back. So I was a bit like maybe Robertson will play centre back. At no point did I expect Phillips to get a start. I just keep looking at the lineup like. Does that really say Phillips? Klopp knows what he's doing. I think Phillips played a couple of games for us last year when he got recalled back emergency before being sent out again. So
obviously, have you got the West Ham team there? Because I haven't. I'm not prepared.
I will get it up.
Let's have a look.
I know that Haller starts.
So Fabianski, right back, Kufal. Not too sure about him. I don't really know him, to be honest. Balbuena, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Masuaku, Fornals, Rice, Souček, Bowen, and Sebastian Haller up front. So it looked I'm on live score, and that's come up as a 5.
Yeah, 5-4-1.
5-4-1, which Cresswell on the left of a 3.
Yeah,
which is a bit mad, that, isn't it? I don't know if that's. I've seen West Ham doing well recently, but I've not seen the way they've been lining up and stuff.
That's a bit of a lining up lately with Cresswell playing as a centre back, quite a short centre back, all things considered. But look, they're going to try to hit Haller, the target man, which kind of makes sense because our aerial master's gone. It'd be interesting to see how Joe Gomez handles that because I think he's going to have to take responsibility at the back.
Nat Phillips isn't the smallest though. I mean, he could. We all want to have a good game, obviously. Like he's coming in from not from the wilderness, but he's been training with the fellas. But like he's not been getting game time, has he? So it's just getting his foot on the ball and just making it as easy as we can over the first 15 minutes. But like you said, they're going to be lumping it up, and like giving free kicks around the box, and obviously set plays are going to be crucial, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good chance for Phillips, to be honest. Like if he can come in and perform, like. He could really cement that place and make it his at least until Fabinho gets back. He has got a chance here to just calm everything at the back. Not calm everything, but give the fans a bit of peace of mind. Give Klopp give him something else to consider. Fingers crossed. Like Haller hasn't exactly been performing well for West Ham. I personally don't think he fits their system. He was brilliant at Frankfurt, but he's not really shone at West Ham. If we can just keep him marshalled, then our midfield 3 should hopefully be enough to dispatch their midfield, but Souček's a bit of a monster. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I think like the two obviously we touched on the two surprises are Nat Phillips and Curtis Jones, but it is a great chance for Curtis Jones. Now he started against Ajax, didn't he?
Yeah.
He would have been bitterly disappointed in only playing 45 first and foremost, and not really getting the rub of the green in that game. So I imagine he'll come fully prepared for this one. I mean, he's still only a 19-year-old kid. He's got a huge future ahead of him, but he needs these games. The fact that he's getting picked by Klopp for these type of games, where it's not going to be easy against West Ham, they're in good form. But the fact that he's picking them is a great sign, isn't it? Definitely for his confidence.
Right? I'm glad. My initial reaction was one of shock, as can be seen. But I'm glad that Jones is getting a start. He will. Looking at that midfield three, he's definitely going to be the one out of that selection to be given the creative license. Henderson's going to do Fabinho's job. Wijnaldum's going to do Wijnaldum's job. What he always does, just run, cut shit out. And Jones is going to be given that Naby Keita, Thiago license to look, just go, let your ability show, make stuff happen. And that's what he's good at. Whenever he's played in that capacity last year against Everton in the Cups, he's managed to get that spark. So fingers crossed he can get that to happen. I mean, if Henderson and Wijnaldum can shepherd Rice and Souček, then Jones will have the space to go make stuff happen. And he's going to be very important against a back five because you can be sure that West Ham's defence is going to double up on Salah when he's got the ball, Firmino when he's got the ball, and Mane. So Jones coming in from deep is going to be important today.
Yeah, and he's got that quality, hasn't he? Like, I think he puts much pressure on himself sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Like I said, he played in the cup games earlier on in the season, done really well for me. I thought he was like, the goals he scored against Lincoln, I think he scored 2 belters, didn't he? And then he's played well in other games. But the Ajax game, I felt like the pressure got on top of him a little bit. So I'm hoping today. So let's see what any comments we've got. We've got one from Cop Council, yeah. So afternoon, I was really surprised that Nat Phillips is starting over Reece Williams, but I think he'll do a decent job. Also expect the Curtis Jones weldy tonight. I hope so, mate. I really hope so. I mean, he's got all the tools. I think he just needs these type of games are going to be perfect for him because it's against the opposition who are in decent form. They're going to flood the midfield, so that creativity. Because, like I said, there's no Keita on the bench, there's no Thiago on the bench. So, in terms of creative midfielders, he is probably our only one in terms of, obviously Hendo is, and Wijnaldum is more of a systematic player, but Curtis Jones, he'll be thriving on this and thinking, well, balls in my court here to go and create and make a name for myself and make my name stand out in the league rather than just in Liverpool.
Yeah, he's got a chance right now with Thiago out and with Keita out. Just like Philip says, to go give Klopp something to think about. If he can perform right now, then you expect that when Thiago gets back, he just goes straight into the team. But if Jones can put a couple of performances together, if Thiago gets crocked again, then it becomes more of a, do we play Naby? Do we play Jones? Should we give him more minutes here? Should he come off the bench? He might become the guy that we turn to come off the bench more often when stuff's not looking right. So he's got a really good chance here to like cement his place, or at least, like I said, give Klopp something to seriously consider.
Sorry, I've just seen that from Dan. And then this one's better. Cheers, Dan, lad. Lovely beard. Thank you.
Nicholas, nice.
Nicholas. But yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. I'm always hoping it's going to be that game where we finally just go, right, fuck this. We're gonna battle. We're gonna just smash them easily, but it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be, like I said, 5 at the back, according to this, 4 in midfield, and then the big fella up front who they're just going to lump it to and try and obviously they'll have some joy in fits and starts, definitely, because he's a good player, isn't he? So in terms of obviously Yotta's on the bench, you've got Shaqiri on the bench, Minamino, and Reece Williams, Neco Williams. Do you reckon any of those will be coming on towards the end? I definitely think Yotta and Minamino should be coming on maybe towards the end, shouldn't he?
I think if Jones doesn't perform, he'll be off for Shaq. After Shaq's performance against Midgetland, I think Shaq will come on in the midfield if Jones isn't like performing. Then you do expect Yotta to come on for probably Firmino, like he did in the last game, and then Minamino maybe to come on towards the end if needed. But you definitely expect to see Yotta. It's just the rest of them. Hopefully, we don't get another injury and we're forced to make another defensive substitution. But at the moment, you don't really know.
Yeah, we can't afford to lose Joe Gomez. That's the be all and end all at the minute, because Joe Matip isn't even in the squad. So I don't know. Klopp's being very coy, isn't he, on injuries now? I don't think he was like that previously, but I think he's got to the point where he's like, I'm going to give you the little sneaky glimpse of what's going on, but I'm not going to tell you for sure. Like, I'm going to give you like he keeps saying, if the medical staff tell me they're out, then they're out. But up until that point, they're in. So I think he's keeping his cards close to his chest, isn't he? I don't think he wants to cause panic, because it shouldn't be panic, really. I mean, we've got the back four, and the back five, including Alisson, is as usual, really. It's only Van Dijk in for that. So he's in and amongst first team. In terms of midfield, there's only Curtis Jones there, who I'm made up he's starting. To be honest, it was a shock, like we said, but I'm happy with it. So, and then from three normal. So in terms of like Klopp keeping the same type of players in a cohesive unit, it's only those two who should be slotting in and just adding to what we usually do, shouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed everything works out well. Liverpool's system is you can argue that Klopp hasn't got a plan B, but that's because plan A always seems to work. You can in training they're going to be doing the same thing. So Phillips has been training now with Van Dijk for 2 years, 3 years. Despite his loans, like, he'll know what the system is. Jones was integrated last year. He'll know what the system is. And I think with Klopp playing it so close to his chest, I think it's more along the lines of maybe he doesn't want to jinx it. Because as soon as he says Joe Matip's fit, you guarantee that Matip's going to go pick up an injury. So I don't know really what's going on, especially with Matip. Like, I didn't realize that he was injured during the match, and then during the Everton game, and then it comes out that he is. He is not somewhat. He's very unreliable with his fitness. He's very good though, and it's a shame, because if Matip was fit, then you'd argue that centre-back pairing with Gomez and Matip isn't that bad. But we'll see. Hopefully Phillips can step up. I've got, weirdly enough, for no reason whatsoever, a bit of faith in the lad.
Well, you know what? If Klopp's picking him, then it's that old cliche. If Klopp's picking him, he's fine. But like, I think it's just a surprise, because we've seen Reece Williams come in from the wilderness of, like, he's not been in the squads, and then there's obviously, I think it was Victor Matos is his name, one of the development coaches. He's obviously said about him and said you need to bring him into the squad, and then all of a sudden he's been like catapulted into the limelight from where, really, hasn't he? Like, he's still 19, same age as Curtis Jones. So in terms of average age of the squad, it's absolutely the lowest it's ever been, probably today.
Yeah, I mean, Phillips' inclusion strikes me as, I remember last year when like Lallana came out of nowhere and started in midfield, and Klopp was like, oh, he trained well, and then he set up like 2 goals. I'm not saying I expect Nat Phillips to go and set up 2 goals now, but he might have an absolute worldie.
Well, if he scores like off a corner, you hear that here first. Matt's predictions. Anyway, I'm just looking at, because you talked about Matip's injuries and stuff. I'm just looking at his injury record, and it's like, it's ridiculous, like how much he was out even before he came to Liverpool. Like, there's just so many like muscle injuries. Like, he seems to get a lot of them. There's like, I can count like 4 here. This is off Transfer Market, and it's like, he's 29 now, and it's like, is it maybe the point at the time where maybe in the summer we go, well, we love you because he's great, he's a great player, and he knows the Klopp system inside out. But does it get to a point where it's like, well, we need someone else to come in that we can rely on more, because we can't be throwing, like, not like Matt Phillips as a kid, because he's not, but he's like, we can't be relying on these people that we only going to use in emergencies. We can't, especially when you're so early in the season. We didn't expect this, did we?
No. I mean, it's tricky with Matip, because when he's fit, he's a quality defender. So in theory, you'd be like, all right, yeah, let's sell him and let's get someone equally as good to come in that's more reliable. But given his injury record, you're not going to get a fee that's worth his quality. So maybe it is just worth sticking with him. When he's injured, and you just accept that. Use him when he's fit, and then just let him leave on a free whenever his contract's out, because to lose him for 10, 15 million, like what Barca offered for Wijnaldum, just keep him. In my opinion.
Yeah, he's, like I said, he's great, but it's just one of them things where maybe it's getting to the point where you go, right, maybe cash in and get someone else in. But before we go, we've been on 15 minutes. Don't want to do too long because people will be going get off and watch the match in a bit. But I just wanted, obviously it's Trent's 100th I think league game today, Premier League game.
Yeah.
What, like, absolutely ridiculous, isn't it, really? Like 76 wins, 31 clean sheets, 6 goals, 27 assists in his first 100 Premier League games. Like, that is, like, ridiculous, isn't it? Like, that we are really lucky to have him, aren't we?
He is immense. Like, his passing range, his ability to go forward. Like, he's one of the ones that makes us tick. There's a lot of arguments or a lot of comments I've seen that say, like, move him into midfield. But he's so effective from the right. He is. I don't like to use this word a lot, but he is virtually unplayable because you can't mark a right back, or you can't make an excuse to mark a right back, but you kind of need to mark Trent because he's so important to the way we play. He will probably be a Liverpool captain at some point. Let's be honest. What's he, like, 21?
20, just turned 22, I think, last month.
Just made 100 appearances. He's going to make a couple hundred more at least. It's great that he's local as well. It's just, you run out of words to describe his impact on this team. And considering that he only came in because Nathaniel Klein got injured, it's just...
Yeah, and he's so level-headed, like, in all the interviews you see with him. Like, he's like, he knows no one wanted to be a right back, but between him and Robbo, they've maybe changed that perception, haven't they? Like, everyone now says they want to be, like, there's so many good right backs in the world, when that's kind of forged from their attacking style, and it is just so good to watch. And like you said, he's difficult to mark because he can ping 60, 70 yarders. He is a bit questionable at the back at times, where if he comes up against a really pacey winger, then I do worry. But I think he's got better than what he used to be. But it's just, he's still 22. He's still got loads of learning to do, and we are lucky. Like I said, we're lucky to have him, aren't we? Like, he could go on to be captain. He could go on to, well, he's already won the Premier League and Champions League, and he's still only 22, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah. So the world is oyster, shall we say? But,
wow, you went there.
Got another message from Connor, the Cop Council. Matip is probably in the top 5 Prem defenders when fit, but I think a Weetabix is more strong than, yeah. What did I say last week? Matip's made out of milk. I don't know why I said that, he's literally made of liquid. Like, I don't know. It's literally like, I just think like Jibril Cisse, where he's like just legs breaking for fun. And it's like, we need someone who's a good player, which he is. He's great, and he's, like Connor said, he's one of the best in the Prem easily. But it's just relying on him. That's the thing. And I don't think maybe gone past the season, if it might change if he comes back in a couple of games and he somehow stays in the team for a long period of time without getting those injuries, then we might be looking at like a completely different scenario. But for me, it might be a case of looking to shift them on next season if those injuries don't improve.
I mean, remember, was it when we finished second when we won the Champions League, that Gomez got injured and then Matip had like a run of, wasn't it like 6 months of just in the squad, not injured, and he showed just what he can be. It's just so hard. I think that's the longest run in the side that he's had fit. But it'd be great to see him there again. Like, he can be that commanding presence. He showed that he can be, and if he can come back and stay fit, then I've got no worries with a back four with Matip and Gomez at the heart of it. Right? It's like I said before, I don't think it's worth cashing in on him unless you can get what he's worth, and that's unlikely to happen with his injury record. So,
yeah. Anyway, before we've been for 19 minutes, I don't think we'd be that long. But in terms of, obviously, the match, it kicks off in about 40 minutes. Yep. So let's go. Usually we do this without knowing the team, so this is the first time we've done it where we know the team. So let's go score predictions. What are you thinking?
I said it the other day. Without Antonio, 3-1. Still.
3-1.
Nat Phillips.
No, I'm gonna go for a 3-0. You know, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah, I've got faith.
As soon as West Ham take the lead, I'm going to drop you a message.
So we'll leave it there. Nice one for tuning in. We haven't added Matt's name to the bottom of the Twitter on the ticker yet, which you can see mine there. You can see the Kopites, so go and give them a follow. I'll add Matt in next time if I can be bothered. But we'll see you next time.